Congratulations.
Definitely.
Well done.
And I'm happily married.
Wow. Would she say the same thing?
I want to take it.
I hope so. And what about you? How many kids do you have and their ages?
Well, blessed being having 2 children. Our oldest being a boy. His name is John Isaiah Reed. He is 23. And our daughter, she is 16-year-old.
Okay.
Myself and wife, for this month will make it 24 years since we've been married.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, you said that you've been 42 years as a father. 43, sorry. Do you find it different? You know, being a father then, like having a child in that era? And can you see the difficulties that people might face nowadays in comparison to what you had to face raising your children?
You see, training is very important. And once you train the children right, you get the benefits out of that.
Right.
Right. Let's begin with the wife. One of the things I said to myself when I was courting, I used to treat my wife, my girlfriend, who's now my wife, very good. And I decided that I should continue the same things I used to do while I was courting, the same things I still do, although I've been married for 43 years.
Wow.
Surprises, I would bring home nice things for her, surprise her.
Guys, take notes at home. Get your pen out.
And get her laughing, get her smiling, and continue to do my best to treat her well. I said to myself when she was in her parents' home, she was happy. And I've decided that I continue to keep her happy. As a matter of fact, she must be much happier
than when she was at home.
When she was, so that she wouldn't want to go back.
Her parents will be like, how is everything? It's fantastic. I'm having a wonderful time, thank you.
I have 5 kids, 4 boys and a girl.
So there you go. You must know exactly the path I'm going right now, because he's got a girl,
yes,
and he has a boy. You have 5 boys.
4 boys.
4 boys and a girl.
And a girl.
So what is the difference between raising a son and a daughter?
You would find that the boys would be more troublesome. But then you got to know how to train them, you got to know how to treat them, love them, You don't spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yeah.
Right? Very important. They slip up, you beat them. I remember at home, my father and mother, they were very strict. Very strict parents. We were 10, 5 boys, 5 girls. I remember when I was small too, I was on the public road. And I went to, I took somebody out, a cousin who came from Georgetown to spend some time. I followed her on the road for her to catch transportation.
Right.
She got the transportation, and I decided to jump on the back of the bus. They used to have, in these big buses, they used to have a ladder at the back.
To go up, yeah.
To go up to put stuff. So I jumped on and hello on the bus. And when the bus pulled off, and when it slowed down, I jumped off. Not knowing that my uncle was nearby in a kick shop. He left what he was doing and he called out to me to come to him, but I was afraid. I ran home. My uncle left what he was doing and was behind me with a coconut broom. I was so afraid. And I ran home under the bed. Came and he told my mother, I saw William elbowing on a bus. And don't let me tell you what happened after. It wasn't a nice day. It wasn't a nice day. From that time, I never had one in a bus.
Because you learned your lessons.
I learned my lesson. I respected my uncle. But these are days when when children would curse the family members.
Yeah.
They would abuse them. Right? But we were not brought up like that. Mm-hmm. We were brought up to respect elders. We were well trained. It is said that in every family, you normally get a bad egg. But we were 10. And no bad egg.
There was no bad eggs because they cut out the bad eggs from the beginning.
From the beginning, right? 3 of my sisters were teachers. Mm-hmm. A brother was in the national service as a staff sergeant. Another brother was at the court, where I worked also for many years until I retired. Mm-hmm. Another brother was a fireman, and so on. So we were all brought up in a good environment. Mm-hmm. It wasn't easy. Father used to, if we misbehave, he would call us, we had to come, and he would put us over his foot.
Really?
Yeah. And he'd lock us between his feet and would beat us on our buttocks with a belt or a rope or something. It wasn't easy, but we were well trained.
Some people don't think that's right nowadays. We're going to get to that.
My daddy went for a walk just the other day, with my daddy right beside me. Son, what you wanna be when you grow up? I don't wanna be no policeman, cause crime is getting out of hand. No liar, no fireman. He said, what you wanna be then? Just like you. Me never ever see this, my mommy. Take care of me, you'd like you take care of me. That's who I wanna be, just like you. Yeah. No, if you don't know them, daddy, thank God me know mine and him take care of me. Daddy, I'm a general.
For your special events, accentuate your beauty. Always look your best. Book Make Me Up by Vanette Calendar for a professional and relaxing MUA experience. Makeup classes also available. Contact Vanette on 671-8613. Visit our studio at 226 Garnet Street, Kitty. Vanette Calendar, sponsor of Inside Culture.
You don't leave and wash with Sterling Super Soap. Our antibacterial formula eliminates 99.9% of all germs and bacteria. Clean and moisturize your hands with 4 refreshing and rejuvenating fragrances. Get super clean with Sterling Super Soap.
Want a hairstyle that's not only stunning but also gentle on your hair? Get ready to fall in love with knotless braids at Nick's Hair B&B. Knotless braids are the perfect choice for a natural look and feel. They're lightweight, reducing tension on your scalp and protecting your hair from damage. Choose from our fabulous styles: Boohoo Knotless for a carefree vibe, Classic Knotless for timeless elegance, or Mermaid Knotless for a splash of fun. What's more, hair is included with every service for your convenience. Book your knotless braids appointment at Nick's Hair B&B today. Knotless braids at Nick's Hair B&B. Your perfect hair transformation awaits. What would you say is more difficult for you in raising a boy or a girl?
The thing about it is that boys are interesting. They are curious. They want to explore. And oftentimes society make boys feel that they can become macho and they can do whatever they want to do. Mm-hmm. But with the girls, we oftentimes try to protect our daughters. Yeah. I had a friend who said this to me. She said, we experience will allow our sons to go out and he can come in probably 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning. Mm-hmm. But we wouldn't let our daughters do that. The question is, where is the boy going? He's going to meet other girls. but you're not allowing your daughter to be one of the person to whom he's going to meet.
Yeah.
I said it to say, boys are interested. They need the firm discipline in the home, as my colleague did mention. And oftentimes, both mothers and fathers must be supportive of them being disciplined. The discipline can be administered in different ways,
Yes.
but they must be disciplined. And oftentimes, for some girls, they are very fearful that, the consequences that may meet out to them will be severe. So they oftentimes may want to consider not taking some of the risks that boys will do.
Yeah.
But for me, I recognize indeed, there's a connection between daughters and father. My daughter will come and she will say certain things, or we will talk quite a lot and so forth. My son is a little older now, but he doesn't talk so much as he was when he was young. He would talk a lot with his mother. But you find boys and their father sometimes may have the kind of interest in relationship, while daughter and father will also have another interest in relationship, but it's a little more closer. Boys will come to you when they have concern, then they may share with you their concern. You understand me? But to answer the question precisely, sometimes it can be a little more challenging to raise a boy. But you have to be firm as parents, both mother and father, firm with them to ensure that they stand firm doing what they ought to do. And we must also ensure that our daughters are also doing the right things.
That's true. I mean, I think that it's kind of different nowadays. In this time that we're in, I think it's just, for me anyway, because I'm a parent, I have a boy and a girl, I think it's probably just as difficult to raise a girl nowadays.
But let me share with you, indeed, being challenging these days. Years ago, what my colleague did mention, we could have spanked our own children.
Yeah.
We could have done that with ease. But now the regulations that are put in place, those regulations are almost restricting us as parents from doing what we ought to do to help our children to become better. And so now we find the prisons are oftentimes filled and probably overflowing. Police station oftentimes, filled and overflowing. There's so many complaints.
Right.
Because why? We are not there with the privilege to spank our children or to discipline them so we can bring them in conformity. So
I'm going to be like the devil. You see, when I put down my notes, I'm getting serious with you guys now, right? But I'm going to be a devil's advocate and say, well, shouldn't we move past corporal punishment now? Is it something that is necessary? Does that really change anything? Or does that build resentment against parents?
I would say it is still necessary. I can tell you. Just as my colleague.
I agree with you.
Let me tell you. My parents spanked me quite a lot. But I learned that after a few occasions, I'm not doing the same thing because I'm not going to get that same treatment again. And this way it comes to you having the value system for yourself. I don't want to do the wrong thing because I know the wrong thing will have certain consequences. And if I must take the relevant action to correct. And I tell you this thing, when I was going to school, teachers also spanked me. And I thank them after I finished school for what they did, because today Gary could have been a bandit, he could have been involved in using illegal substance and so many bad things. But what they did for me is bring me in conformity of where I ought to be. And today I am much happy because they helped to discipline me. Now, there are different ways we can discipline people, but that was one of the approaches, and I must say to you, it worked. There's several odds, but we're not here to talk about it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. It worked because it worked for me.
The reason I'm saying that is because I feel like when certain parents, they discipline their child in that way, they're not doing it from the right place. I mean, I've heard stories from young people who've been disciplined and they said their mother beat them or their father beat them, but it's not to teach them anything, it's just because they're angry. Or it's not really about the discipline, it's about the fact, about how they feel at the time.
But you see here, most time people provide a defense for something that go wrong or something they didn't like. But often most times when we caught in a situation, we want to provide our defense as though we are the angel, while we might have been the devil in the problem. The thing about it is that children now have grown to a position where they're hardly seen, they're being scolded for wrong things they're doing. So whenever you as a parent do that, you look like the abnormal parent in a family because they're not accustomed. But in our days growing up, it was a normal thing. Your friends might say to you, I hear you crying yesterday because daddy or mommy scolded you.
Yeah.
That was a normal thing. But if you hear that from a child now, it's abnormal because the thing about it, hardly parents do scold their children for something wrong. But it's something that we should do. Let me tell you, there's no need for us to spare the rod and spoil the child. It is better we do it here than we have to spend a few months later to put our children 6 feet in the ground. We must have different approaches of disciplining our children. Spanking them is not the only way, but we must be able to at home so we can able to reduce a lot of the social issues we have in the society. And if we do it at home, life will be far better. So
you're saying, so basically the government, the system, or whatever you want to say, is trying to stop parents from disciplining their children in that way and spanking them or whatever it is. Why do you think that is? Then if you believe that, it works.
The Bible, it says you spare the rod and you spoil the child.
But is it figuratively, or do you mean they literally say a rod, like they mean a rod like a physical rod? Or it could mean other things?
Yeah, it's just spare the rod mean you avoid beating the child or scolding the child, disciplining the child, and you'll spoil the child if you fail to do that. No. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1 to 3. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee, and thou mayest live long on the earth.
Furnishing your apartment complex. Kissoon's local and imported line of living room, bedroom, and dining room furniture will have heads turning. Shop in store today. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Want a hairstyle that's not only stunning, but also gentle on your hair? Get ready to fall in love with knotless braids at Nick's Hair B&B. Knotless braids are the perfect choice for a natural look and feel. They're lightweight, reducing tension on your scalp and protecting your hair from damage. Choose from our fabulous styles. Boohoo knotless for a carefree vibe, classic knotless for timeless elegance, or mermaid knotless for a splash of fun. What's more, hair is included with every service for your convenience. Book your knotless braids appointment at Nick's Hair B&B today. Knotless braids at Nick's Hair B&B. Your perfect hair transformation awaits. For your special events, accentuate your beauty. Always look your best. Book Make Me Up by Vanette Calendar for a professional and relaxing MUA experience. Makeup classes also available. Contact Vanette on 671-8613. Visit our studio at 226 Garnet Street, Kitty. Vanette Calendar, sponsor of Inside Culture.
And let me say this thing to you. Scolding the child should be the last resort, because we can talk to the child.
Yeah.
Yes.
We can guide them. We can prevent them from having certain things that they like. Those are different approaches, but scolding should be the last resort.
Yeah.
But it should not be restrained.
I agree with my colleague.
They might need it to bring them in line.
Yes.
It must not be restrained. You remember, you're disciplining, you're scolding them.
Yes.
You're not trying to kill them.
No.
I'm talking to those parents. You know who you are. But then the thing is, for me as well, with my father passed away when I was 13, so I didn't have a long time with my dad, right? But what I do remember is that the two little top up, as he called it, little top up, didn't really resonate as much as the way he used to speak to me, and just knowing that he's disappointed used to make me feel really bad. And that's when I would not do that anymore, because I don't want my dad to be sad. I don't want my dad to be upset with me or disappointed in me. And so the different approaches, I agree with that. It's a personality thing. So tell me about your kids and their personalities. I bet you they both have different personalities.
Absolutely right. My son is a little more outgoing,
Yes.
like me. meets people, talk with them, likes to laugh, make people happy, very jovial and so forth. That is him. My daughter is a little more reserved, which is a similar personality like my wife.
Right.
They're more reserved, or they will only engage in conversation with people if the need really arises and so forth. My daughter spends much more time. She can study by herself. She's able to study by herself. Our son, he will need some guidance in those study. He will not pick up his book and just read just like that. There must be a reason for him wanting to do that. Our daughter will come home and tell us what she did at school and so forth. Our son would not come home and tell us what he did. So you find that they are all different. In some homes, they have some boys who come home and tell daddy whatever happened, or mommy whatever's happening. Quite different. It just depends upon how the children see you, your relationship with them. But what is most important as a parent is that you work along with them, you know their personality and work with their personality. Don't try to make them you.
Exactly.
You must guide them along, but must do it with a gentle and firm hand so as to make them better. But don't try to duplicate yourself inside of them.
Because they have bits of you, but they're not you.
You. I agree with that.
Bits of you and your wife. And blend together and make something totally different. It's a different blend, you know what I'm trying to say? Just a thought I had in my mind. What do you define success that you, as a father? Is it that your kids, as you said, are doctors and lawyers or policemen, they've come out and they have those kind of careers? Is that what you think is, as a father, is successful, shows your success?
They have adhered to the training, right? And as a result of adhering to the training, they have seen the success.
So let's put it another way. So if your son wasn't a policeman, he was a chef. If your other son was not a lawyer or an accountant and was a bin man picking up bins on the road, does that make you feel successful as a parent, or do you still feel like, oh, maybe I didn't do the right thing, they didn't push themselves hard enough, or does that come into play at all? Or is it the fact that, okay, they're that successful in their careers that makes you feel like, yeah, they took heed to learning?
I want to feel they took heed to learning, right? Because my wife also, she went to university, she has a doctorate also, right? So we show them the way of the Lord, and we show them and we tell them from time to time. We would have told them from time to time the importance of being educated.
I'm going to ask you the same question.
Well, the thing about it, success is not defined for our children by where we are and not where we think that they must go. It must be guided, because both of us are believers, guided by biblical principle. So what we must do is to work along with them to fulfill the purpose that the Creator's called them to do. Not our purpose, but His purpose. So they can be a policeman, they can become even a garbage collector. And I tell you this thing, from a garbage collector, they can become the manager of a disposal company. Right? It's not something where you started, but it's where you're going. And when you understand destiny, you must work towards destiny. So we must be able to guide them. Also, for some people, they may change many career paths, which may lead them into where they ought to be. What we must do is to instill values in them from home. And this is where the home must be the place where we provide moral guidance for them. It must be the compass that we work along with them, guide them. So when they get out there, they can easily navigate into the different places they ought to be, because we have trained them, or we have schooled them, or we have disciplined them to becoming better persons and so forth. And once that happens after a while, they will get into the right direction.
I love that.
I do still communicate with my father. He's alive. I still communicate with him. Because why? There's wisdom in our seniors that many times our young people don't understand. There's so much wisdom. Like my colleague mentioned. Because of the years he's been in marriage and because of the years he has lived, there's certain things he saw that I haven't yet seen.
Exactly.
And so therefore, when we communicate with people who are our senior, there's a lot we will learn from them. And it's something I'm seeing happening in our younger people. They don't believe they need guidance. What we have to do, though, as parents, though, is to live a good example before them that they can now emulate what we are doing.
Yes.
Because what we have happening these days is that parents are not setting the right examples. And so children are only following what they see the parents do. And so that when we want to scold them, we're scolding them to do the thing that we are not doing.
Exactly.
Yes.
So how can they listen to us?
I agree with that. A good example coming from the parents.
People now have access to, young people have access to so much information that they're not spending much time together as a family.
Yeah.
And so this brings me to the other book that I've authored, the book named Fellowship at the Family Table. I repeat it here, Fellowship at the Family Table. In that book, I talk about where we spend much more time at the table sharing values. So you tell me what you went through at school, and I'm sharing with you what I went through at work for the week. So we have a better understanding. It allows for much more bonding of individual. You understand me? So we still need to have fellowship at the family table.
Only weekends, the children used to get to look at television, their television. During the week, strictly schoolwork.
That's right.
No television. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Like Friday afternoon come from school. Friday, Saturday, yes, television. But no television during the week. They had to be doing their schoolwork.
Correct.
When they come from school, they may have homework, they have to do it. And if they did not have homework or they finish their homework, do revision.
Correct.
Do revision, but no television. I visit some homes sometimes, and television on right through the week, and the children supposed to be going to school in the morning. No, that couldn't happen.
That's right.
Parents, both mother and father, should hold one head when it comes to the disciplining of the child.
Correct.
Not when one disciplining the child, one say no, don't beat her or don't scold her. No. The parents must hold one head.
Correct. Yes.
in disciplining the children. One head. There must be an agreement.
Definitely has to be agreement. As I said, good cop, bad cop. We're on the same department, same police force.
Yes.
But what advice would you give to potential fathers that are looking at this program? They got kids on the way. They haven't got a child yet, but soon. What would you advise them?
I have a few books. One book named From Singleness to Married Life. From Singleness to Married Life. It's a good guide for persons who are single and want to know what happens in a relationship. Now, I also have one named Training Sons to Become Responsible Fathers. I want to say to our young men, you have a great responsibility. Society is looking at you to be a good example, not a bad example. And too many times in society, we validate the bad things and we validate the bad things and make the good things look as though they are bad. Young men, I want to say to you, not only the advice everyone gives to you must accept, you must then begin to process the advice you're receiving to make sure that the advice that can be able to take you somewhere far and make you somebody of value. The other thing I would say to our young men, see in society for good example to follow.
Yeah.
Too many times our young men are following negative examples, and so their life will not become anything of substance. Third thing, the music they listen to. Some of the music they listen to have so intoxicate their minds that they want to do what some of the songs are saying, and they're not contributing anything successful to society. Fourth thing, young men, you have to work honestly and work hard. Many of the things you would like to accomplish will not come easy. So you have to spend some time working honestly for the right thing. Fifth thing, I want to say to young men, spend time increasing your academics. Too many times I'm seeing young men, but I don't know to read. Well, I don't have to learn to read because I can go there and get a job where I will use my energy to get it done. But that's not it. If you can work smart, you can get much more done. And you can retire before the government decides to send you on retirement.
Yeah.
So increase your academics. There are times I go places and talk to men, but they'll say to you, you know, son, I can't read, and I'll wait till my wife come out to tell me what to do or get it. No. I'm saying if you want to become a better parent, you must be able to read, to write, to be able to comprehend, so you can be able to help the child. So when the child comes home with a problem, you don't say, go to your mother. You must be able to say, come to me because I can help you.
Yeah.
Now, both persons can help, but too many times because fathers are sending the child to the mother seems to be the person they always refer to.
Yes.
Because daddy is a man who can only work hard, but he's not a smart thinker.
Yes.
The child must be able to see daddy is an intelligent person, he can make good decisions. The other thing I would like to see is to be deliberate and make great investment in your family. Too many times our young men, you know, they feel that they get a child and they're spending time investing in other people. You have to invest in your family. People may say to you that, you know, you're selfish, but it's better to be selfish for the benefit of your family than to take care of everybody else and not yourself. You know what I mean? And I also would like to say to men, be very careful when you marry. Entertainment is good, but you have to start now restricting the entertainment. And if the entertainment is to happen, it must be among your family because you're building a family. Too many young men, you know, get into relationship and they're more concerned of having entertainment where they alone can go without taking their family. That's not good. Take your family to wherever you are going so that the family can be able to nurture, to become better because you are investing in them. I believe we have some great young men coming up. They need guidance. They need to make sure they connect with somebody who can become their father or their mentor to help them in society and be willing to take the correction of those who have learned so that your life can become better. And so in that book that I've authored, Fathers Are Important, it is important in society that we speak about the importance of father because too many times we are derogatory to fathers and when the children hear that, they believe that that's what they need to do. So we can be able to help them. So those are my thoughts.
What I'm looking at now is being an example in the home. The father should be a role model. The father there should be the one to lead the family.
Yes.
He must take up his responsibility. He must be the one to guide the family in the right direction and to be that example, that good example for the family, for the children especially.
Definitely.
Very important because whatever you instill in the child, that is what will come out in later days.
And I think that fathers are a very important part. As I know that everyone doesn't have a father. Yes. You might not have a father. That's why it's important to find mentors, whether it's your pastor, whether it's your brothers, your uncles. Just find someone who could lead you the right way, show you great examples, as you said. Yeah. And you know, someone you could talk to, because it's not always. I mean, there's families that don't have the father in the home, but you still need that mother. Mothers can't do all, you know. Yes. Women can't do all, and I think that when you're raising boys, a man needs to be around to raise boys, to be honest with you. And it is Father's Day, and I wanted to have this conversation with you guys so you can see some veteran fathers in the building, and we could discuss more. And listen, I love talking to you. It's been an amazing conversation. It can go on forevermore, I'm sure of it. But I'm gonna have to let you guys go. But happy Father's Day out there to all the dads, potential dads, soon to be dads, granddads too, the stepdads, because just all the dads. Yes. And I hope you guys have loads to eat today, that they give you loads of presents and gifts. Not just mothers deserve them, remember. And as a family, enjoy yourselves. And again, have a happy Father's Day. I will see you next time right here on Inside Culture. Bye-bye.
Son really tells his father how he really feels. A handshake or a pat on the back is all that he reveals. I'd like to right that wrong, hearing this little song. Thank you for shaping my life. Thank you for teaching to me all you can. You are no ordinary man, no, no.
World-famous Indian astrologer and spiritual healer in Guyana, Master Vishnu. Master Vishnu is a specialist in bringing back loved ones and ex-lovers, an expert in removing black magic, negative energy,